Hey guys, I'm Fowler, and I just wanted to make a quick video to demonstrate some of the ideas that I had for the FL development team. First of all, you guys are amazing. So happy that we're able to do this and send you these notes and stuff, and you guys actually pay attention and implement some things. So first of all, merging automation clips. This is something I've dreamt of for many years. Let's make a couple. Here we go. Now, I know the math is probably kind of crazy, but I feel like if we wanted to merge these guys, I mean, FL, it knows what value is at this point. Let's actually get it away from that tension point. It knows what value is there. So to me, just maybe even if you placed a node here and you just drew a linear, I guess get that away. If you drew two nodes at the edge and you did a linear line, and then if there's some sort of, even if this was, I don't know, even if that was linear instead of a curve, that I probably would still have use for that, because I know in order to recreate this curve, that curve, the tension point might be down here actually somewhere, and now the tension point needs to move up here and it needs to have a new tension value, and that might get a little complex. But maybe if there was just a kind of a more brutal kind of just to get the general shape, then I could go and set the tension myself, and that would still save me a lot of time. So basically just create a node at either edge of the clip, and then a linear line between the two, and then linearize, I guess you could say, the all of the curves involved that aren't contained in each clip, and that would be super helpful. And then if I could merge that, and even if this goes away, it's not that, I could still easily just kind of recreate the tension of it, and it would give me the general shape. So that would be cool. Let's do create another one of these. Another thing that would be cool is if I could take this curve, and maybe a drop down says copy, and then a drop down here says paste. And then I could get that shape down onto this curve, because a lot of the time I'll be, maybe I'll have three synths that are all kind of making up one sound, and I want all of them to have the same, I don't know, the same filter sweep or something. I know I could just link it to the same clip, but maybe for some reason I want the same clip and then I want to modify it, but only for one of the synths and not for the other synth or something. I just think being able to copy and paste a curve onto another automation clip would be super useful. And I know, because I know that this is the tempo. It goes from like 60 to whatever at the top, and this is master pitch. It probably goes minus 48 to plus 48, or I don't even, maybe not that much, but oh, it's only an octave. Anyway, the values might not line up, but because I'm able to create a node here, I'm able to copy this value, I'm able to paste it here. Just, okay, 58%. See, I feel like instead of trying to copy the absolute value, I would just copy this where this curve says 58% up there in the top, where it says 58. If this also went to 58, I can recreate this curve manually. So I feel like if I can create this curve manually, this is 35%, this is 35, where are you? 35%. If I can do this manually, I feel like there's probably a way of implementing it in the code. But again, I don't know, I'm not a programmer, so if it's not possible, it's not possible. I just think it would be really cool to be able to quickly copy and paste curves from one automation clip to the other. Okay. Let's drag, I think I have it, yeah. Another cool thing that would be useful is maybe, say, I have a bunch of audio and a track, and maybe it's made up of more than just one, so I'll just grab, I don't know, something else. Here we go. Yeah, let me bring it up, and say I wanted this, and I think it would be super cool. I know I can consolidate this track and click start, and then it moves the chopped up ones down and mutes them and creates this new one. I think it would be cool, instead of that happening, if you could just highlight them, and then there would be a drop down maybe and it would just be merge, and it would just boom. Maybe, I don't know if it's, maybe there's a couple options. Maybe you could just merge with the clicks in between. Maybe there's like you could have like a, I don't know, maybe a 256 sample kind of cross fade thing happening or something like that. But it would just be really quick, really cool to quickly be able to do a consolidate right off of like one step only. I know it's not a lot of steps to do this, but it's still, you know, it's still more. And now I have this, and I usually just delete this and do that. So like there is a few steps involved just to get this, which is what I'm after at the end. So that would be cool. I think it would be really cool if we could have a fade that just starts at, you move your mouse to the top, and instead of it being the resize tool, it converts, maybe when you get to the top 10% of the track, it converts over to a fade tool. Because I always find myself, I usually have to make compromises. Because say maybe I want this, the start to not have a fade. So that would be transient bleeding. But maybe I want this end fade to be a cross fade, like a really long fade on the end, but no fade at the start. There's no way of doing that in FL. You kind of have to just pick one of these, and it doesn't fit everything you want, and then you end up having to automate the volume and fade it out this way. I think it would be really useful and would save me a lot of time anyway, if instead of doing this, you just basically could come up here and create a fade at the start, a fade at the end, and it could be as long. I think in Sonar, I used to use Sonar. I think in Sonar, at the very top, you could make the fade start. At the very bottom, you could make the fade end. And then you could kind of control each individual fade separately. And then if you had this clip, the same clip in numerous places, not every fade would have to be the same. So I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. I know that, okay, so you do have multiple of the same clips. If you fade this, do you end up fading all of them? Do you not end up fading them all? I don't know. There's got to be a cool way to implement that, and I think that would really save me a lot of time. Oh, this one's good too. So up until I think the most recent, maybe FL20, I think 12.5 had it. You used to be able to close everything down, hit escape until everything was down. Now you're just down to the very basic, just the background. You used to be able to hit enter, and it would bring up the playlist. I use that all the time because I have all kinds of effects and all kinds of plugins and stuff like that get piled up on top of each other, and I just hold the escape button, and it goes and it plows through them all. It takes me right down to nothing. And then I would do that. I'd hold escape until I saw nothing. Then I hit enter and I'm back to square one. And I would do that probably, I don't know, every 10 minutes I would be doing that, or even less. Maybe even every 5 minutes I would be cleaning up all of the effects that were up. And I would just hold escape until everything went away, and then I'd hit enter, and now boom, I'm back in the playlist. Now it goes down and I can't hit enter, so I got to go up and click this, and half the time I click that, or I click the wrong thing. And it actually slows the workflow down quite a bit, not being able to just hold escape until you get to nothing and hit enter. That would be cool if that came back. This one, okay, so this is a good one. I brought this up to Seamless years ago. Let's bring up the mixer. So if I use 3 screens, by the way. I just pulled this mixer off of my left-hand screen. I'm in the center screen now. If I open up all of these plugins and then I click something on the playlist, blah, 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 they're not up anymore. Say I want to open up Unison, or say I come over here, I want to open up Morph. If I click this, it's already up, but it's behind. But if I click this, it doesn't bring it up. It makes it go away. I feel like it should, if it's up but just behind something, if it's not focused, you click it, it should move the focus to it first, and then if you click it again, it'll put it away. But that's not the worst of it. If I go over, and sometimes it's hard for me to recreate this, so bear with me. But if I go to insert one, and I click one of the, okay, of course it's not doing it. Hold on. Please wait a moment. And we're back. I don't know why it crashed, but anyway. Where was I? So let's add some effects. Whatever. And then add effects. And then add effects. Oh, let's just go to insert 2. So this problem is really kind of weird. Now, if they're all hidden, and I click here, let's see if it works. Maybe if it's up. Yeah, there we go. Do you see what just happened? So right now I'm on insert 1. If Soothe was behind something and I wanted to see it, not only will it not bring it up, it'll put it away, but watch what happens. Boom, it takes me to insert 2. And I deal with this all the time. I go to open up a plugin from the master bus. Boom. Not only did it not bring up the plugin, it put the plugin away and it brought me to insert 2. And then I click meta flanger or whatever. Okay, it didn't do it that time, but like you get, I think it's when it's on the screen and then you put it away. Let's put away Omicide, wherever it is. Yeah, that's what it is. So let's find Omicide. Watch. So I'm on master bus. I want to bring up Omicide. I know I could click here, but say it's underneath something where I can't click it. I click it, boom, takes me to insert 1 and puts Omicide away. It's funny because I've just gotten used to it because it's done it ever since I've used FL Studio, and I don't know if it's maybe because I'm detached or because I have 3 screens or something. It doesn't seem like anybody else has this issue, but I deal with it every single day. See if Soothe, I'm on insert 1. I want to open up Soothe. I click it. It takes me to insert 2. Okay, I'm on insert 2. I want to see Meta Flanger Stereo. I click it, and well, it doesn't take me anywhere because there's nowhere else to go because all the other plugins. I think it's taking me to the next open plugin or something, but in practice it just doesn't make sense, and sometimes I think it used to drive me insane, but now I'm so used to it that I just don't even notice it anymore. But it would be super useful if the first time you click something, if it's not in focus, what it does is open it up and then the second time puts it away. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe other people would disagree with that. Okay, the last thing that I have for you is let's open up just a random drum loop. Say for some reason I wanted to have a lot of these really close together because I thought that sounded good. If I'm zoomed out this far, maybe, hold on, this is maybe a little tricky. Oh, let's put them right next to each other. Okay, so say I want to do some like granular synthesis thing. Of course, now it works. The problem I was having was there's some situations, maybe it's this. Okay, this is a bad example because it's not really doing it. But see how right there, I'm on a pixel. Let's delete a few random ones here. Maybe that's what maybe it was too periodic. Okay, see how I'm zoomed out, but depending on which pixel I'm on, it'll alternate between the resize and the move. Most of the time when I'm zoomed out like this, I'm not going to try to resize that because how would you resize? Like, what useful reason would you have to resize it when you're zoomed out this far? I'm going to try to move it as one clip. Now I could consolidate it. I could maybe if that merge thing happens, I could do that. But right now, I don't really know how you would implement this, but I feel like at a certain point, once you zoom out, maybe it's a ratio of like the size of the clip versus how zoomed out you are or something like that. At some point, maybe it should just default to move. Like it doesn't even show you the resize tool. Because like right here, if I wanted to move that, I gotta like really be careful that right there, I can click it there, right? So it's a little tricky, but anyway, those are just some thoughts I have. Thanks again for you guys. You guys are wicked for taking these questions and for taking these suggestions. And I love your software, so keep it up. And thanks for listening. Bye.